Reporting live from Hyper's Club, Fight Plus News, I'm John Abba.
We're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
Last night, we would share breaking news in regards to Nolan Wells, as audio from a tow call made by his friends around 3 p.m. on July 4th, according to NBC News, would be released. Now, in an extended version of this call, we are now hearing where they were exactly when the call was made. According to now released audio and GPS graphics, they were on the western tip of Horn Island.
We're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
Now, as you know, we've been following the story, and what we have now noticed is that the call looks to be made in the same area Nolan's body was found 2 days later on Monday. As local outlet WLOX stated, around 8:45 a.m., Sheriff Ledbetter confirmed authorities received a call reporting a body found at the northwestern tip of Horn Island. The body was discovered by a U.S. Park Service ranger. Now, this clearly now gives us a better understanding that when the friends allegedly last seen Nolan at 3 p.m., they would make a call about the boat taking in water in needing of a tow. GPS data graphics would again also confirm they were located on the northwestern tip of the island. Now, at 4:31 p.m., they would eventually be towed for about 2.7 miles out before returning to normal operation and headed back to land. Now, after gathering all this information, it now seems for some that Nolan's incident, given that his body was found in the same area, had to have happened between the call at 3 p.m. when they stated to last seeing him and when they would be towed away at 4:31 p.m. Now, another thing that would stand out in the audio and raise suspicions is that the dispatcher would ask the boat's operator if everyone on board was in good health. And in response to that, he would go on to say, yeah, everybody is on board.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Now, what is hard to understand for some is if they waited for a tow to help them leave the island, why did they continue having no contact with Nolan, given that they were all friends and this towing incident seemed like an emergency? Also, according to the released GPS graphics, it does not appear that the boat was too far out for them to see or be near the shoreline. Again, this would happen as they reportedly had Nolan's phone on the boat, and that Nolan allegedly wanted to stay back to speak with a girl he just met. Now, on Wednesday, Nolan's family representatives would speak to the Mississippi DA to hear the latest. They would go on to admit that not much new information was shared, but that the DA will be presenting evidence to a grand jury to declare how the mysterious death of Wells should move forward. Now, despite a seemingly positive meeting with the DA, not everyone is letting up. Former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore, who would go viral for sharing his reaction to the case, would return back to his Facebook and would issue a warning to anyone fully trusting the DA, Angel McIlrath. According to Moore, his past run-in with McIlrath, as according to him, was a bad experience, as she failed to get an indictment for an incident that clearly should have gotten one.
Day 11, and there has still been no arrest. To me, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable because we know on day 1, had there been 3 young black men to return to the mainland from an island and 1 white young man left there who disappeared, who died under suspicious circumstances, we know within 1 day of beginning an investigation, with all the suspicious activity that we know that have occurred here, if it occurred in that situation, we know that there would have been arrest by now. So it's still unacceptable to me that no arrests at all have been made for any particular crime. And I've laid out a litany of potential crimes that members of law enforcement, if they were doing their jobs unbiasedly and thoroughly, could have made by now, but they refuse to do so. The family has been calling for transparency all this time, so I don't know why you would keep them in the dark last week that you were doing an investigation when somebody who knows how it's done calls you out on Sunday night, early one Monday morning, you decide to tell everybody that you're doing an investigation. So thank you, DA McIlrath. We've been wondering what you have been up to the past few days. So now we know, because I don't play. School had recess. I do not play. I don't even play the radio. Those folks know me. They know me well. And if I say it, I mean it. And so I see today, not only did she had announced earlier this week that she was going to work with, or was working with the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, she met with the family and their counsel and gave them an update and told them that she will be presenting all of the evidence to a Jackson County grand jury. That is a step in the right direction. But is it a step in the right direction because we had to call her hand? Had she planned to do that all alone? I had the unfortunate experience of meeting the DA, McElrath, back in 2019 when I was a partner with the Cochran firm. And Toussaint Diamond Sims was killed by a Morris Point Police Department officer on August the 8th, 2019. It was caught on video. There were several witnesses that said that young man had nothing in his hands when he was shot 5 times in the back by that Morris Point cop. 5 times in the back, nothing in his hands. DA McElrath presented all that evidence, overwhelming evidence, and she still could not secure an indictment of that officer in Jackson County. So before everybody goes and starts singing her praises, let's make sure she's not going to do another sham presentation to the grand jury. And we know that you can present things to various grand juries until you get an indictment. It's mighty funny that the regular saying is you can indict a ham sandwich. With all that evidence, after someone was killed in 2019, and I happened to represent the family at that time as a partner in the Cochran firm, and I met with her as well as the family, similar to what happened today, so I've been through that process with her. She will offer you sweet tea. She's a nice, good Southern belle, but can she get you justice? We're not going to sleep on you, Angel, excuse me. We're not going to sleep on you. This time, we expect you to present the evidence in a manner like you present it in other situations that you can secure an indictment or indictments. I do know you don't have to be indicted for anything to be arrested. All of this evidence is out there now. It should have been presented to a judge by now. Some of it for probable cause to make some arrest. Some of it to get the search warrants. I am not about any dilatory tactics. You're not going to punt the ball and put it on the grand jury. Certain folks need to be arrested now if there's so much evidence. Evidently, there's enough evidence for the FBI to now be involved. Evidently, there's enough evidence now for the DA to announce that she's going to present things to the grand jury. There's nothing to present to a grand jury if there's an accidental drowning. An accidental drowning under no suspicious circumstances would not require a presentation to a grand jury, and the DA could make that call herself. So evidently, there's something not clean in the milk. There's something not clean in the milk, and they know it. But yet and still, because of privilege or whatever, there has been no arrest, and we are day 11 post July the 4th, when Nolan Wells was first reported missing. Now, I'm the people's judge, and I shoot it to you straight with no chaser. That is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You think we're going to sing your praises because you put on a dog and pony show. You can say the right thing, you can be courteous, but the Mississippi I know, the Jackson County I know, they will smile in your face and serve you 2 glasses of sweet tea and still stab you in the back. I can talk about them because that's where I'm from.
Now, the fact that this has even escalated to be presented to a grand jury would also hint to more that a simple drowning must not have taken place. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now that we're identifying that the call to get towed matches the same location where Nolan's body was found 2 days later, is this a major break in the case? And does this change your theory as to what happened to Nolan that day? Reporting live from Hypers Club, Fright Plus News, I'm John Appo.